Greetings everyone, it is me, GigaLem, and welcome back to the Q&A video. This is part 2. I'm going to be answering more of your questions, and fortunately, I'm not finished with the first section of questions yet. So, let's finish up James's questions as we move on with the video. I apologize if these plant selection parts take a while, because I usually have to think out about my strategies and what kind of things I'm going to have to deal with for each of the elements, and yeah. But let's begin with this question. Are there any outfits you would like to see in CTR for existing characters? I'm pretty sure, this is a really good question because there are a lot of people that have, outfits they would like to see for certain characters. For the December Grand Prix, there has to be Santa Crash. Have you seen those adverts where Crash is wearing a Santa costume and he's carrying quite a few games and possibly a PlayStation inside that sack of his? That needs to be a costume, and I'd be damned if we don't have that. We also need something like Nutcracker Entropy, and possibly a toy soldier Baby Crash, because say what you will about the baby characters, I think they're adorable and they deserve more love and protection because they haven't spent much time on. They're in a state where they haven't spent much time on this planet, and they're already racing. They're already racing to survive and such, so they're born to race, literally. But I think making legendary skins that are just toys for them, they can be all sorts of toys that can fit them, like a toy soldier, or a plush with a pull string or something like that, or just something that makes them absolutely adorable or something. The one thing that just disappoints me about Baby Crash is that we did not get a skin that makes his fur color look like that of a corgi. Because Corgi Baby Crash should have happened, because Corgis are adorable, they have a smile, they're small of woos, and they have itty bitty little feet. They're just adorable, and Baby Crash should have gotten one of those instead of just I don't know if I'm the only one in this, but I do not like the leopard colorization Baby Crash got, because leopard Baby Crash just looks like an eyesore. Its yellow colorization looks so bright. I think it could have been toned down a bit. But in terms of other costumes, while Megumi's getting another, while the Nitro Squad, save for Tana because she got hers last month, the Nitro Squad's getting more legendary outfits. But if Megumi were to get another legendary outfit, give her a kimono. She's already a freaking cinnamon roll, probably one of the most adorable and wholesome characters in the entire game, beating even Coco. Complete that cinnamon roll. Give her a kimono or something like that. Heck, one costume I would like to see for Megumi is like Samurai Megumi. I think that would be pretty darn cool. And let's see, other costumes I'm thinking of, we do need quite a few other costumes from CTTR. We need, and no joke, this is the actual name for the costume, Crashizzle Bandikizzle. I'm not kidding, that's the name for one of Crash's costumes, and I would like to see that actually be a real thing. I would like to see that be a thing in the actual game. Meanwhile, we also need Rapper Crash. Well, technically you could just take Rapper Crash and Bandikizzle and just make a hybrid of them because they're close enough. But you get the point. There are plenty of Crash costumes seen in promotional media that really needs to be costumes in the game. I would also like to see Jetpack Crash and Aviator Coco because, like, we have those costumes in Crash Warped. I'm surprised it wasn't added from the get-go because you do get Aviator Crash for getting every CTR token, I believe. And like, there's still, like, missing costumes that need to be added soon because, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing these costumes. And I'm pretty sure there are more I could think of, but, I would probably be, like, this would probably be the only other question I'd answer in this video. But, yeah. And like, there's just a lot of costumes I just want to see, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get, like, probably at least 1,000 by the time support for the game ends, because, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, it's already Game of the Year material for me, so, so, yeah. Do you think there will be any more decals for existing cards in CTR? By this, he means, any decals added to the cards that aren't the champion cards. I want there to be, because, one of my favorite cards, the Team Cortex card, it has the least amount of decals on it, and I think it really deserves more decals on it. Well, and before you say anything, no, the promotional card doesn't count because it only has one decal because promotion. And honestly, I think it's a missed opportunity to not add more promotion. Have the Peppermint Rush. Like, I find it a missed opportunity that the Peppermint Rush doesn't provide a peppermint paint job, and the Oh Yeah Lemon doesn't provide either a second decal or just like be an alternate way of getting the cart, but you get another decal or something like that. Like, not making it all the flavors to provide something is kind of a missed opportunity in my book. And, yeah, because a peppermint paint job plus a Oh Yeah Lemon decal would have been really cool. I think it was called Oh Yeah Lemon, but, yeah. But I want to see more stuff for the Cortex card. I want to see more stuff for the Trike. People call it the Trike. I'm just calling it the Trike. Like, add more stuff to the Trike. Add more stuff to. Add more stuff to, like, the Doom Buggy or something like that. Just anything that's lacking for the good decals, they need more of. Because there are a lot of cards that I like to use, but I don't like their decals that much. Like, one card I would like to see, like, while it's not part of the question, one card I would like to see boosted for a Grand Prix is the Classic. I love the Classic card because it's so simple, yet very eye-pleasing. It's one of my favorite shapes of cards because it doesn't do the whole generic tight body or just boring, or it just looks a bit boring to look at in comparison to stuff that provide real speed. Like, I need something that, the cards don't have stats, so you can use any card, and and what really matters is which character you use. So I would like to have more decals for certain cards, like I want regular decals for the champion cart. Like, if the champion cart has to be made available normally, and the only way to get the other decals is to participate in Grand Prix, and have it so that people who miss decals can buy any decals they missed in when those items appear in the pit stop. Stuff like that. Like, I think the champion card deserves normal decals because you can't really, because have you used the use any of the electron cards colors on the champion card? It's boring. You only know what color it is just by looking at the exhausts. It needs more decals. Way more. And like it needs normal decals we can get, like even if we get like a bunch of them in a bulk, but we just need them, period, because those decals are just while they look awesome, we can't really use stuff like electron blue or yellow because they are not really fitting with the decal. I'm at the very least glad that the other GP themed decals, or actually colors, it worked better with it, because they work on the gem colors, they work with the gem colors, they work with the spectral colors, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna work with the neon colors, which are already looking to be my favorite set of colors, because holy crap, my entire cart is made out of lights. Oy. Alright. What is my favorite Crash character? That is a really tough question, because excluding Crash, because of course I usually favor main characters and such, and Crash is a very simple character. Like, a simple yet effective character, because he does, like, his actions do most of the talking. He doesn't really speak a lot, and I don't mind it if he's just speaking gibberish. And it's when my it's just hearing, it's just, he has those iconic noises that just make him what he is. I like Cortex because when written right, he can steal the show and be a very well written villain. In fact, I think some of my favorite Cortex lines come from Crash 2. Don't get me wrong, Crash 3 is still my favorite of the original trilogy, and there are quite a few lines from Cortex I absolutely enjoy, but the one thing I like doing every time I boot up Crash 2 for the first time is just avoiding the crystal and hearing Clancy Brown or Lex Lang, depending on which version you're playing, just get absolutely annoyed that you just avoided a crystal. Because you're not supposed to avoid a crystal, you're supposed to get the crystals. It's just nice to hear that voice. It's how can a villain have a voice that's made for ASMR? I'm pretty sure that's the most cursed thing I've ever said. Coming whenever someone does it. ASMR with Dr. Neo Cortex. but besides the Nitro Squad, I do like some of the Nitro Kart characters, especially with what Beanox did with them in Nitro Fuel, because they really brought them out. I especially like Geary, because not only do I like the robotic synthesization, but the delivery of all these lines are just very, very well done. And not to discredit the original. The original has some really good voice lines. Like in the original, like I can't remember what he says, but it's just how he ends the line, "Now I must destroy you," or something like that. Like, he's essentially the robot. He's essentially the Crash Universe's equivalent of Double D from Ed and Eddie, yeah. I really like, I think my favorite revisions from like my favorite, basically my favorite revisions of the QnA characters from Nitro Fueled are just Geary and the Norms, especially Big Norm. But I'll bring this up again if I ever do a Let's Play of Nitro Fueled, but the Norm, Big Norm specifically, is the only QnA boss character to actually have their voice actor reprise his role, and boy did he cam it up. Like, Big Norm has some of my favorite lines in the game and voice delivery, and the good voice delivery really brings out the character. It brings the character to life. Like, you really feel like you're that character in that moment, and you're really showing, like, you're showing your talent, and that is just something I can appreciate with voice acting. It's the reason why I can appreciate Free and Plant's voice acting. It's the reason why I enjoy the voice acting of the voice acting of stuff like Crash Bandicoot or Sonic Adventure 2, because I know that certain characters have mastered their roles or something like that, or are very experienced, so they're bringing their all, and they're willing to and they're willing to just show it with their techniques and such. It's just it's very admirable to hear them like pour their heart and soul into a voice and such. And of course, there's Embryo, or more specifically, one Embryo I wish I knew of when I was a kid, or during the late 2000s. Mind Over Mutants Embryo. While he did reprise his role while the voice actor, which I'll put the name on screen because I can't really pronounce it, he did reprise his role in Insane Trilogy, but I'm practically convinced that he wasn't around at the time to reprise his role for CTR, so that's why you had Tom Kenny voicing Brio that time, and you can tell it's Tom Kenny because it doesn't have that same I invented it punch as Maurice, but in Mind Over Mutant, he's the guy. He steals the show whenever he's part of a cutscene or something like that, because he's always saying that he's invented a lot of stuff, even stuff he didn't invent. And my favorite line: "I created Slinkies. Stop playing with them because they're mine." Like, that is just something I just look forward to every time I just look that video up. And I have to say that probably nowadays there's an appreciation for the Tattoo Crash games. They're not the best Crash games, believe me. They're pretty darn mediocre, but separate it from Crash and you have something that it's better as its own thing, but not as a Crash thing and such. And And, yeah. It's, more of a... It's more of a, you got to appreciate some of the work they were willing to put through. Like, you gotta appreciate what the voice actors and actresses, can do to try to make the best of what they can, even if the story is pretty nonsensical and stuff like that. Just hearing their performances and such, it's just, there's an appreciation, and I'm glad it's there. Now for the first non-Sonic and non-Sonic, the non-Crash question, non-CTR question. Favorite characters from both the Mario franchise and the Sonic franchise. Let's start with Mr. Video Game himself. While there are a lot of characters from the Mario franchise I do enjoy from one way or another, the one I enjoy the most is Toad. I like Toad a lot. He has a funny voice that I like hearing people try to imitate, and when they imitate it really well, holy crap. And Toads are very versatile in terms of what they can do. Like you have possibly thousands of costumes for them for many different spin-offs and incarnations. Like, you have several costumes from Mario Party 2. You have the various number of Toads from the Paper Mario and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I can't remember if there was any proper Toads in Super Paper Mario, because you were not in Mushroom Kingdom in that game. You were only in somewhere, like you were in the flip side and later in the game flop side, and you weren't seeing Toads that much, like, period. And while you did see Toads, like, I forget if they had any special clothing. And I can't remember if there was any other Toads that had special clothing besides, like, the sports spin-offs, like the Strikers games, because, of course, you gotta have that soccer gear and such. But, yeah, I love the Toads. They're fun characters. They're fun, versatile characters. They're multiple. They don't get too annoying, and they're one of the best characters in Mario Kart 64. And while I do like Mario Kart 64, I'll agree with the point that Mario Kart 64 is aged like milk. And this is me not noticing a not noticing a zombie on the bottom of the screen. Hey, I had to blow him away. But in terms of the Sonic series, besides Sonic himself, there are a lot of characters from the Sonic series I do enjoy. Like, I do enjoy Eggman. I think some of his best incarnations are in some of the spin-offs, or, of course, the PA announcements from Sonic Colors. And I think he really steals the show in the cartoons, like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, when he was then known as, more commonly known as Dr. Ivo Robotnik. And I know about his brilliant performance in Sat-M, but I think Sat-M Robotnik was a way more different Robotnik, because he doesn't even share the name Ivo Robotnik. I believe his first name was Julian Robotnik. Voiced by Jim Cummings. Yes, Winnie the Pooh voiced Dr. Robotnik in Sat-M. But and then you have Boom Eggman, which if you give him the right lines, holy cow, holy cow, he can be a show stealer. And the second season really upped the comedy for that series, and something that is a real big appreciation for the Boom franchise, the cartoon. Like, I'm willing to defend the 3DS titles of the Boom franchise, but cartoon is always something you can always go to. I guess it's not for everyone, but there is a lot of appreciation with that cartoon and such. Let's see, I'm trying to think of other favorite characters besides a certain fan servicey character. The Sonic series that I enjoyed from the Sonic series whenever they were around. Like, I do like a lot of the characters, and it's really hard to just pinpoint one exact character that I like more than anyone else. Like, I do like a good majority of them, so I can't exactly pick an exact favorite. But, like, I'm not going to dwell on any characters that I dislike. I'm going to have a real hot take. The Deadly Six are the most overhated characters ever, and I find it annoying when Sonic fans try to turn into cancel culture anytime they even appear. Literally, it's just a character. Stop having a hissy fit every time they're brought back. Because I can see them working, and I can see them being fun characters when given the right kind of writing. But yeah, I think that's about it. And only 2 videos in, I've only answered only James's questions. But yeah, if you want to donate anything, there are links in the description below. And I shall bid you guys adieu. I'll see you guys in the next part of the Q&A video.